And welcome to the Paterson Board of Adjustment meeting of the City of Paterson of Thursday, January 14th, 2021, 7:30 p.m. via webinar session. Please, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Law has been satisfied with respect to this meeting, specifying the time, date, and location included in the annual notice adopted at the reorganization meeting of the board, filed with the city clerk of the City of Paterson, posted in City Hall, and mailed to at least 2 newspapers in accordance with the provisions of the law. Chairman Thaxton, may I call the roll?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Commissioners, Commissioner Dumas is absent. Commissioner Furman?
Present.
Commissioner Hodges?
Present.
Commissioner Levine?
Here.
Commissioner Minauro?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Rohim?
Present.
Commissioner Watkins?
Present.
Commissioner Arenas?
Present.
Chairman Thaxton?
Present.
We have 8 commissioners in attendance this evening. I will proceed with the agenda, Chairman. The notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act addressing effect of coronavirus measures on the next public meeting consistent with the coronavirus-related restrictions of Executive Order Number 107, given on Saturday, March 21st, 2020 by Governor Philip D. Murphy. The Board of Adjustment of the City of Paterson will not conduct in-person participation of the public at all future meetings until further notice. However, public participation will be available by means of communication equipment pursuant to NJSA 10-4-8, commencing on Wednesday, April 23rd, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. Though there may potentially be a practical need for a limited number of administrative, technical, or other city personnel to be present in or near the council chambers, 3rd floor, City Hall, 155 Market Street, Paterson, New Jersey, in-person participation of the public is prohibited. Nevertheless, for reasons of compliance with the said Executive Order Number 107, public participation will be available by calling 1-973-321-1579, meeting ID number 711-680-001. That's 711-680-001. Board of Adjustment regular meeting of Thursday, January 14th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. On the date and time that the meeting is scheduled to commence, the public may also participate in the meeting by accessing the website of the City of Paterson, www.patersonnj.gov, and following the email link for the meeting, www.patersonnj.gov/Board of Adjustment. On Thursday, January 14th, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Paterson Board of Adjustment, which is being held at 7:30 p.m. via webinar session, virtual meeting. The following matters will be heard. Number 1, Velez Auto Repair LLC, carried from September 10th, 2020 meeting, 546 East 19th Street, Block 3401, Block 5. This is an application to convert an existing vacant 600 square foot commercial building into an auto repair facility. The detached 2-family dwelling on the same lot will remain without any changes. This is for use bulk D variance site plan in an RP4W RA-2 zone. Is the applicant present? Mr. Maricondo?
The applicant is present and ready.
Thank you. Second item is Jocelyn Baez, 27 18th Avenue, Block 3918, Lot 16. This is an application to create 2 parking spaces in the front yard setback for an existing 2-family dwelling on a 37-foot by 100-foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1 and 2 family dwelling is 50 feet by 100 feet in an R2 zone. The applicant will provide 2 parking spaces of the 4 parking spaces that are required. This is for bulk and site plan. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Bulk and site plan in an R2 zone. Is the applicant present?
President Ray.
Thank you. Number 3, George Krasnowski, 167, 169 East 22nd Street, Lot 2408, Lot 6. Application to convert a current 5-bedroom, 1-family dwelling into a 5-bedroom, 2-family dwelling on a 37-foot by 100-foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1 and 2 family dwelling is 50 feet by 100 foot lot in an R2 zone. The applicant proposes the first floor will consist of a 2-bedroom apartment and the second floor will consist of a 3-bedroom apartment. The applicant will provide 2 parking spaces of the 4 parking spaces that are required. This is for use and bulk. One moment, I just need to misplace my document. This is for bulk and site plan approval in an R2 zone. Mr. Maricondo, is your applicant present?
Yes, on behalf of the applicant has made a decision to withdraw without prejudice. He's living outside of the country at the present time due to some family issues, and he's unable to proceed.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson?
Okay, was the new commissioner sworn in yet?
No, we're
Not
gonna,
yet.
we'll do that after, but the number 3 is withdrawn without prejudice.
Thank you. So duly noted.
So, my understanding is we have a new commissioner this evening. Commissioner, can you please put
Okay, hold on 1 moment. Can you hold on, Mr. LaRocca? Apparently, the court reporter's computer has frozen. Can we give her a moment, please?
Sure. While we're just waiting for her. Commissioner, can you put on your video, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Maggie, can you hear me now?
Where did we leave off at, Melinda?
You were reading the second application.
Okay, did we finish that? No.
I don't know, I closed the file.
Okay, we'll start again on item number 2.
Okay.
Jocelyn Baez, 27 18th Avenue, Block 3918, Lot 16. Application to create 2 parking spaces in the front yard setback for an existing 2-family dwelling on a 37-foot by 100-foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1 and 2-family dwelling is 50 feet by 100 feet in an R2 zone. The applicant will provide 2 parking spaces of the 4 parking spaces that are required. This is for bulk and site plan in an R2 zone. Mr. Maricondo, is the applicant present?
As we indicated, applicant present and ready.
Thank you. Item number 3, George Krasnowski, 167-169 East 22nd Street, Block 2408, Lot 6. Application to convert a current 5-bedroom, 1-family dwelling into a 5-bedroom, 2-family dwelling on a 37-foot by 100-foot lot. The minimum lot size for a 1 and 2-family dwelling is 50 feet by 100 feet foot lot in an R-2 zone. The applicant proposes the first floor will consist of a 2-bedroom apartment and the second floor will consist of a 3-bedroom apartment. The applicant will provide 2 parking spaces of the 4 parking spaces that are required. This is for bulk and site plan in an R2 zone. Is the applicant present?
Applicant hereby withdraws without prejudice.
Thank you. Mr. LaRocca?
So withdrawn.
Thank you. So the application of George Krasnowski, 167-169 East 22nd Street has been withdrawn without prejudice. You may continue, Chairman. Or Mr. LaRocca. We do the roll call? Did you do the roll call, Ms. Amalinda?
Yes.
Okay, you got that. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mr. Morocco, could you swear the new commissioner in?
I'll do that now, yes. Commissioner, please turn on your video again, your mic.
And your video.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. Remain standing and repeat after me, please. I, Myra Torres Arenas, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of the Zoning Board of Adjustment
of the office of the Zoning Board of Adjustment
as a commissioner
as a commissioner
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Commissioner, and welcome to the Board of Adjustment.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Mr. Maricondo?
Yes, sir. Which matter are we proceeding with? Yes, sir. Are we on?
We're going to start with case number 2.
Okay. On behalf of the applicant, Jocelyn Baez, 27 18th Avenue, the applicant is proposing to create a 2-car driveway in the front setback of the existing property, which contains an existing 2-family home which is owner occupied by the applicant. This is an area which is primarily two-family zones. We're located in the R2 zone, so the existing use is a permitted, continuing permitted use. This is an opportunity for the applicant to provide off-street parking for her immediate family, and thereby obviously lessen the burden on the on-street parking as well. As we indicated, it's only site plan involved, the use is permitted as existing. So that's essentially the nature of the application. We'll be calling Mr. Evans as our witness.
Before we begin, if any commissioner has a camera, it would be appreciated that when we do vote, you do put your camera on so that people in the public can see who you are voting, how you're voting, and see who the commissioner is. So I'd appreciate if you could put your cameras on. Thank you.
Mr. Aaron, please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your full name for the record.
Matthew Evans, architect planner, 470 Chamberlain Ave, Paterson, New Jersey.
Mr. Chairman, we acknowledge Mr. Evans as an architect planner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Evans, obviously you're familiar with this project, having prepared the site plan, is that right?
Yes.
And this is a very limited request coming to the board. Could you explain what we're doing here?
Okay, the existing property is 3,750 square feet, with an existing two-family, dwelling. What we're proposing is to carve out space, in the front yard to provide two, 9 by 18, parking spaces for the, property. The property presently has no parking, so this would benefit the neighborhood and also the homeowner in providing off-street parking for the existing property. There are several other properties along 18th Avenue with similar front-loading parking adjacent and across the street. So this would not be out of character with the neighborhood or the area.
And this is a two-family which has a typical 2 or 3 bedroom occupancy in each floor?
Yes.
Okay. The applicant can also confirm that as well. With respect to the review of this plan, is there any adjustments that you would be able to make, or do you have any other comments regarding your plan design?
Well, I guess there was concern about the concrete porch and the proximity to the parking spaces. We have about a foot from 18 feet. It's and then we have about a foot in between the parking and the existing concrete porch.
Can you please post your plans, thank you?
Oh yeah, that would help, right? Okay.
Okay, so you're referring to the existing conditions there?
Yeah, so there's, the new 2 parking spaces, the existing concrete porch. And that would be the, carving out a little bit of that walkway there. And that would be the extent of the improvements, along with the curb cut, new concrete apron and sidewalk and paving for the, parking spaces.
And there's no changes proposed to the existing two-family, is that right?
Correct, there's no changes to the interior.
Does that driveway in any way impede on neighboring properties or affect any existing walkways or space?
No.
Okay, so again, with regard to Mr. Paparazzi's report, you can make an adjustment
For the cutout?
for the location of the driveway area in terms of its proximity to the building?
Well, I mean, we have a foot to play with, so, I mean, we could, we're pretty much, at the limit right now to, the parking.
I think the concern was that it might infringe on any sort of public right of way. Is that an issue for you?
No, we have 19 feet from, the property line to the concrete porch, and we're required to have 18 feet for the depth of the parking, so we have a foot extra between the porch and the parking.
And are the sight lines acceptable in terms of pulling in and backing out of that driveway area?
Yeah, it's typical, with a lot of these dwellings, adjacent properties, and as I mentioned, across the street, they all have this, type of arrangement, where they park in the front yard.
And in your estimation, it can be safely navigated in and out of that driveway?
Yes,
Anything else you wish to add? Or?
that would be it.
That would be it. That would conclude Mr. Evans' testimony.
Gary?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Maricanda, Mr. Evans, I know you just alluded to the two-family. The tax ID card calls it a three-family, and there are 3 doorbells on the house. So, just for the record, I know the house has nothing to do with the application, other than the fact that the testimony was given to a two-family, but it is a three-family, according to the tax card, and there are 3 doorbells there. So I'm assuming that there are at least 3 families there.
Okay, yeah, we were following the zoning officer's letter of denial. His research, based on his letter of denial, had showed it as a 2, but I have no reason to doubt what the tax card says.
Yeah, okay. One other thing, the proposed driveway is already in. You know, the driveway is in and stoned. I'm not sure if you know that, gentlemen, but I'm sure you just mentioned the applicant is here, and she will attest to that, because I made 2 inspections there. One when they were digging it out, and the second one was a couple months back, and it's already stoned. So, that being said, that has to be blacktopped. They can't leave it stone. I don't know if they were leaving it a stone until the hearing. I don't know if they put it in and got caught by one of the construction officials. I'm not sure how it went, but now that it's in, obviously, if the board approves it, it should be blacktop.
We agree with that. I was not aware that had been done. But again, I know of no pending violations, but certainly the applicant understands that the legality of the use of that front setback driveway depends on the action of the board, and those conditions regarding blacktopping would be adhered to if we're fortunate to get an approval.
Okay. And the only variances created are both variances, which is no front yard parking and no parking 3 feet to the property line, and both of those are variances. As far as the parking requirement, whatever it is 2 less. So obviously, the proposed driveway that is now in is obviously a positive criteria, because this 3-family or more had no parking, and now that at least they have 2 spaces. So the parking requirement is now reduced by 2 spaces, and those are the variances, commissioners. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman. For Mr. Evans.
Any commissioners have questions of the architect?
Chairman, can I open it to the public?
Yes.
To members of the public, if you have any questions of the architect with regard to the testimony you just gave, please call 973-321-1579. When prompted to, please enter the meeting ID number 711-680-0001. Let's give it a moment, see if anybody calls.
We have no callers at this time. If you'd like to proceed with the commissioners, then I can, let you know if there's anyone calling in.
Yes, I'll call Mr. Jocelyn Baez. Mr. Chairman, Ms. Baez is a little bit under the weather with the flu, so I'm hoping that her voice will come through. She had some laryngitis when she was speaking to me today, and hopefully she's able to speak well enough for us. But I'll call her at this time. I do believe also her husband may be with her as well. Ms. Baez, are you on? Oh, nope. No, is she here? I don't know that we have her on. Let's see. My office spoke to her around 3 or 4 o'clock today. May I have a minute, Mr. Chairman, to go off the record quickly?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I'm back on. I'm having trouble reaching Ms. Baez. Like I said, she was pretty substantially under the weather this afternoon. I was hopeful her husband might be available. With the board's permission, if the board would authorize us to submit on the architect's testimony, I can tell you as an officer of the court that she is an owner occupant of this house, and the purpose of the parking was to provide parking for just her immediate family. I would ask the board whether we could proceed because it's a kind of a minor bulk variance for just for on-front parking, if we could proceed without the additional testimony.
I mean, it is a minor issue, I don't disagree, but we would like to have the applicant under oath confirming everything that's placed on the record.
Understood.
What we can do, what I suggest we could do is we can move on to the next matter if the chairman's okay with that and see if she calls you within the, by.
Okay. I'll keep my cell phone on vibrate. If she calls me back, I'll see it. Again, the only other alternative, perhaps, Marco, if you would permit it, would be if I could submit an affidavit subsequent to hearing, having her confirm and ratify Mr. Evans' testimony, if you would consider that.
The only problem with that is if any of the commissioners have any questions, if Mr. Paterson has any questions. Not to mention, Mr. Paterson already made it abundantly clear that a condition would be to blacktop the driveway if there was an approval. Clearly, we want her on the record to that.
Okay, I was hoping we could possibly do it by certification if we can't reach her, but I understand. We should proceed then.
Yeah, like I said, my suggestion to the chairman would be, we just don't adjourn it, we just put it on hold, we move on to the next application, and we'll come back and see where we're at.
Okay.
But Marco and Alan, I also wanted to put on record that it's only a 3-family. It is a 2.5-story dwelling with a full basement. So I just wanted, some confirmation on the record at least, just for the protection of the board and the city.
Understood. Okay, I apologize. I knew she was not feeling well, but she may have got a little worse. Got a little worse.
We'll go to the next case. Mr. Malconte, call the next,
Yes, on behalf of the Lowe's Auto Repair, Alan Mariconda, 546 East 19th Street in Paterson. The applicant here is seeking to seek approval of site plan use and bulk variances for an auto repair as a small accessory use in business to the existing 2.5-story residential building, which of course is the principal use. This is a separate independent structure that was there for some time. My client is a proposed tenant and has been operating there, acknowledges that he's been operating there for some period of time. The landlord had him enter into a lease with advising him, unfortunately at the time, that this was permitted in this area, and Mr. Velez came to me after he discovered and was advised that this was not a permitted use, and we've been pending before the board for quite some time. We got adjourned a couple times for lack of a 7-member board, and that's where we are today. So I'll be calling Mr. Evans as my first witness.
call the first witness, please.
Mr. Evans?
Can't hear you.
And Linda?
Do you swear affirm testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
State your full name for the record.
Matthew Evans, architect planner, 470 Chamberlain Ave, Paterson, New Jersey.
Mr. Chairman, we accept Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Evans, you prepared the site plan in connection with this application?
Yes.
And this is a particular portion of the fourth ward redevelopment zone?
Yes.
What section and it doesn't allow different types of uses? This is a use variance, however, right?
Yes, it's in the RA2 residential zone. The RA2 allows mixed-use commercial and residential on corner properties. This, however, is a little more intensive and is going to be a mechanic shop, and we would be seeking relief for the use. And there's also an existing 2-family, 2-story structure on the property at the south end of the property.
All right. And with respect to your site plan, what does it depict on the proposed use?
So we show new improvements to the site. We have new parking spaces, the garage, mechanic shop, and we have a new 24-foot curb cut, new drainage setup, lighting, and new street decorative trees to be in conformance with the RA2 neighborhood zone. And we have to reconfigure the shed on the property. Let me zoom in a little better. So we have an existing garbage shed. We would be using that for recycling and refuse. We have new drainage system and street trees, and we have perimeter landscaping around the new 1-story mechanic shop. Excuse me. So then we have this other one is the lighting, lighting and drainage. We also show, and then we have lighting diagrams, drainage details, decorative fence, which is in accordance with the redevelopment zone. And then we go to the next sheet, is the, also based on the report, we've provided the existing conditions of the residential building. So we show the new building and also the existing residential building. So looking at the existing structure, we have an existing unfinished basement, which is predominantly mechanicals and structure. it's not occupiable. And then we have the existing first floor plan, which shows, the door entry to the, first floor apartment. We have an existing 2-bedroom apartment, and then we have another stair, that is on the side of the building, which goes up to the second floor. And, so there's 2 stairs for, the second floor, and we have, 2 bedrooms on the second floor. So we have 2 2-bedroom, on the existing house. Showing the first floor, the garage, it's a new structure. And we have 2 bays, for the auto, repair shop. And then we have, an area for fireproof combustion of storage, for the combustibles within the structure. We have mechanical for the structure, and then we also have a handicap bath for, the garage and a small office, as part of that. We go to the, third sheet showing the elevation. So we have, yard elevation, which shows 2 9x8 doors, a window and a door on the garage. And, we have basically the west side elevation shows siding and, the roof pitch. And then we have, the east elevation, which is East 19th Street, shows the side of the garage. And, then we have the north elevation along 11th Avenue, which is, plain. And then we have a 15-foot, one from the grade to the peak of the roof for the, structure. So that's, the plans. Then we've been looking at the zoning. We've been looking for use for the auto repair. We have minimum, requirement would be 20,000 square feet. We have an existing property of 3488. We're looking for, relief on that. We have the front yard setback is 100. We have 3 feet proposed. We're looking for, a variance for that, setback. Also the side setback, which is similar. We have, 0, which is along the sideline. But the structure, even the existing structure would be, the existing non-conforming for that. The, rear setback 20 feet, we have 0, that's an existing condition of the structure. We have the building height 40 feet, and then we looking at the existing house is 28.6, as I mentioned, the garage is 15 feet. The, building stories, maximum will be 3. We have 1 story for the, proposed garage, and then there's existing 2-story for the, structure. Lot building coverage, maximum coverage is 60. We have 46% with, both structures. We have a lot impervious 80%, and we have 25%, proposed. And I believe that we would be seeking, it looks like a typo there, we would, either, be exceeding that 80% with impervious coverage. The lot width, 25 feet, and we have 36.22, we're not seeking, any, relief for that. And open space, 2 apartments at 150 is, 300 square feet, and we have, no, amenity area for that. That would be, we seek a variance for that. And then we have, parking. And the requirement in the RA2 zone is properties with, that are less than 50 feet in width, do not require parking. We have, the existing 2-family, and then the proposed shop. The RSIS would require 2 2 spaces for 2-bedroom, which would be 4 spaces.
And Mr. Paparazzi indicates 6 spaces are required and 3 are proposed. So you would have to clarify that in terms of your discussion with Mr. Paparazzi.
Yes.
Okay. So that would conclude the variances that we're seeking?
Yes.
Okay. And, with respect to, other issues that Mr. Paparazzi had raised in his report, can we define from your plan how many vehicles could be worked on at any one time in the shop?
We have 2 bays, that would be the extent of the, work.
So there could be no other area where vehicles are being parked, waiting for working,
Right, this would just be,
just to pull into the base?
yes.
That's it, okay.
And then, there is some, the surrounding area, near this property down East 19th Street, where there's, auto body shops and other light industrial uses. Across 11th Avenue, there's auto sales, and I believe we, went, a few months back and got an approval for, auto storage garage on East 19th Street on a 25 by 100 lot. And so I would say the character of the neighborhood, some of it's residential, some of it's mixed use, and some is definitely in line with what we're proposing,
Okay.
With the repair shop.
Okay, and, with respect to, some of the other items that Mr. Paparazzi was addressing, do you want to wait till he reviews those with you regarding underground and, garbage and recycling requirements, or would you like him to discuss those with
Yeah,
you?
we can go over it together.
Okay, does that conclude your testimony?
Yes.
Okay, then we're ready, Mr. Evans, Mr. Paparazzi, on your end.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Evans, on your A1, on your proposed, mechanic shop,
Yeah.
the underground, fire prevention, you have in some sort of storage cabinet. Now, you don't have any dimensions on the cabinet, but I scale it roughly 5 to 6 feet. If it's 6 feet and your building is 20, that leaves you 14. You can't get that car in there. It doesn't fit.
Right, so, I mean, we would adjust that to, it'd basically just be a small closet for combustibles. We could reduce that to 2 feet deep, which would give us 18 feet in, approximately for the shop area.
Okay, so then obviously that has to be taken care of if the application is approved. Now, I'll just, the existing home is already existing, so I'm just gonna go on to the, proposal. There's only gonna be one mechanic at a time at this, site?
I guess I'll wait, I think, Alan, is one mechanic?
One mechanic on site.
One mechanic on site, yes.
Okay, and where does he park?
Okay.
I'll wait for Alan's, you step in, you can ask me another question, I'll.
Okay. Okay. I want to go over the variances with you because, on my list, I have newly created variances. The existing home is all existing variances. So, the parking, obviously, we have a use variance. And the parking must be 3 feet from the property line and 0 feet. And no parking, no front yard parking is permitted, and we have front yard parking because you're a corner. The lot area you alluded to, you need 20,000 for a auto repair shop, and there's only 3488 square feet existing. No accessory building is allowed in the front yard, and the accessory building is proposed in the front yard. The rear setback on the accessory building is required to be 3 feet, and 0 feet is proposed. And no accessory building is allowed to be over 500 square feet, and 600 square feet is being proposed. Now, as far as the parking goes, when you have a mixed use, you have to satisfy both uses. Now, I'm assuming, since we don't have any plans on the two-story dwelling, which I think is a two and a half story dwelling with a full basement. So just using your analysis on the two-story dwelling, if it's 2 bedrooms and 2 spaces. When you go to auto body, it's for every 200. You have 600, that's 3 spaces. So that's why the 6 spaces are required with 3 spaces being proposed. So that's where that variance comes from. Now, I see on your revision that you put the garbage and recyclables in that shed. We know that the shed is already over the property line as well as the building, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about the storage for, let's say, junk for the repair shop? Let's say, like old tires and parts and stuff that is going to be thrown out. Is there not, you don't have a dumpster proposed for that? Where is he storing all the stuff that would go with a repair shop?
Well, he would have to store that internally and, in the garage, so, that would be something he would, have to provide internally. We have no outdoor storage. We're not proposing any outdoor storage, so that would not, that would be a condition of, the application.
It doesn't look like there's much room for that, but, Alan, I asked about, how many people are gonna be working at the mechanic shop?
This is essentially a one-man operation for Mr. Velez.
Okay. And,
He also resides in the building.
okay. So he realizes that he cannot do work outdoors on, any cars. He cannot store any cars outdoors. He cannot put tires and other related, mechanical and repair parts and so forth outdoors, right?
Understood, that's agreed.
Okay. Because the shop leaves little repair room when you have to store tires and you have 2 cars inside the shop. So it's a concern of mine. But
He has to have a very limited stock and inventory because it's a very small scale.
all right, that's all, Mr. Chairman, I have for Mr. Evans.
Any conditions?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I have not noticed in repair shops that they only have 2 spaces to pull in. If you're gonna drop a car off to be repaired, what do you leave it?
Right. I don't know, I couldn't hear.
That was a question.
Yeah, if you're dropping a car off, where do you leave it? Because unless you know when the garage is going to be open, a person dropping a car off in the morning to go someplace, go to work or wherever, where do they leave that car?
It has to be by appointment.
Yeah, so it would be appointment, operation only, and that would be, so that would, they could park it for a few minutes in the driveway and then, bring it into the garage or bring it directly into the garage.
So is that going to be a condition of your, of passage, that you have appointment only, business?
Absolutely. It's a very small scale business linked to his residency there.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Rocco, open it up to the public, please.
Yes, Chairman, thank you. Members of the public, if you have any questions of this witness with regard to his testimony, please call 973-321-1579, and when prompted to, please enter the meeting ID number 711-680-001. Let's give it a moment and see if anybody calls.
Madam Secretary, do we have any calls?
Not at this time, but give me at least another 15 seconds and we can go back. We have no callers at this time.
Okay, Mr. Maricon, call your next witness, please.
Mr. Maricon, before you do so, I just have one more question for Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
Mr. Evans, the proposed garage is being built on the line, on the rear line of East 19th Street.
Yeah.
How does the footing not go over onto the other person's property?
It would be, it would just be an eccentrically loaded footing, which would have to, like we've done in many other, applications, especially in the fourth ward redevelopment where we have zero lot line conditions, so, there would be no toe of the footing sticking onto the other property, it would all be a flush, design, and when we do applications for State County Planning Board, they require a certain detail, we could add that detail to this if this were to be approved.
Yeah, if it's going to be approved, you might need that for the city engineers at least, just to show the adjoining dwelling is fairly close to begin with, and you're proposing a building on line. The existing house is already a foot and a half over the property line as it is now, and I'm sure they don't want that condition to expand. So yeah, do something with that footing to show that the footing is not going to exceed the bounds of the property. Also, Mr. Evans, I saw on the elevation sheet, you have roof eaves and gutter. Now, I'm assuming that the rear of the building will not have those roof eaves and gutter. It's hard to tell on your west side elevation, but obviously you're not allowed any roof eaves and gutter without encroaching onto your neighbor. Like I said, you already have the shed and building over it as it is now.
Right, we would make a flush wall, along that, we have and we'd also add a detail and a note that would say there'd be no, encroachments onto the adjacent property.
That would be needed too if the application is to be approved. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
May I ask a question, Chairman? I only got a little bit of that, Mr. Paparazzi. So it's saying that the roof leaders and gutters, there would be no encroachments, would that be on the plan?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Evans is going to put a note on that for the footing and for the footing design, and that the west side of the proposed mechanic shop does not have any roof eaves and gutter. Now, it looks like when Mr. Evans when when you show the south elevation, you see the south elevation where you're proposing the two bays. That's the wall that's online, and you already have that over with the gutter. You know that.
Yeah. We're gonna cut that back, which is flush. On the west side.
Okay. And that's what that is, Maggie. There's revisions so that there's no encroachments from the footing and from the roof if you can gutter if the application should be approved. Thank you.
I got it, sir. Thank you, Mr. Paparazzi.
Mr. Marcon, the next witness, please.
Mr. Chairman, I'm having difficulty with this client too. I located Mrs. Baez, her son had just come home with the computer. She was on YouTube, so she heard all the testimony. And we just sent follow-up again with sending them the link. So I believe they may be on the Baez matter. Mr. Velez, I just reached him on the phone and says that the only functional computer he had in his house is now at home not functioning. And so the only way I can get Mr. Velez apparently tonight is to have him on speakerphone with my phone. I know the board normally wants to see the face of the witness. So I apologize for that. Apparently we had two procedural issues here with our lay witnesses this evening. I would defer to Mr. LaRocca at this time.
He definitely doesn't have a way to get on, he doesn't have a smartphone, anything of that nature.
Apparently he's not really sophisticated with that, and his wife is not home from work. She works in a hospital, and so he's on his own. Unfortunately, he just advised me. So the only thing I could do was get him on speakerphone with my phone. And we do have Ms. Baez with her son available after we go back to the Baez matter. They should be on now.
Let me find out, Mr. Rocca, if I can have IT interject here. I'll ask him, please.
Well, hold on, how's he gonna interject?
Because he can call in and maybe IT can help him with his phone.
He doesn't have a smartphone.
No, he doesn't have a way to get on. He doesn't know how to do it. He's not sophisticated with it.
I understand now. I apologize.
Yeah. So,
Mr. Chairman, I think this matter needs to be adjourned to a time when he could be available on the hearing, and we go back to the other matter.
Maggie, can you give him a date, please?
I would think the testimony would be very limited for Mr. Velez, perhaps 5 to 10 minutes.
Miss Maggie?
Yeah.
Mr. Velez?
Chairman, Maggie's having some technical difficulties. We're working with her at the moment. Please stand by. Go ahead.
I'm back, everyone.
Okay, we need a date for this, it's going to be adjourned.
I understand. This application, Mr. Marcano for Vella's Auto Repair will be carried to May 13th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m. 2021, Vella's Auto Repair.
Even though it would be limited to 10 or 15 minutes, we can't do anything.
I'm sorry, I have cases that need to go on, and I am booked.
21st.
Okay, statutory time requirements are waived.
May 13th, 2021 at 7:30 p.m.
May 13th.
May 13th.
Okay. All right, let's see, we have Mrs. Baez on with her son now.
Before you continue, I have someone here on the line for Mrs. Baez, so can I go to the other room at IT and see how I can work this out and get her on, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna be making sure that they're on as well.
Mr. Mariconda and Commissioners, we are connecting her to our meeting. Just give us a couple of moments, please. I did explain, Mr. LaRocca, that her son, she's with him, so she should be able to testify. Is that okay?
Say it one more time?
Her son is with her and he wanted to testify. He said if your mother is there, she should be able to testify on her behalf. Am I right?
Are you talking about my client?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, his English is better than his mother, so we were hopeful of having him testify, that's why.
I don't know. I'm asking Mr. LaRocca.
Who's the owner of the house, Alan?
Jocelyn Baez. Okay, I'm speaking to her on my cell phone right now.
Alan, let me ask you a question. If the son testifies generally, is her English good enough to at least confirm everything on the record?
Yes, yes.
As a homeowner, you can just ask those very basic questions.
Yes.
So you can get the gist of the story out from the son, and
yes.
For corroborate everything from the architect.
Absolutely.
All right, because she is the applicant, and I'm on work with this.
Right, they did hear the testimony on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can have and ask that question too.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, no? Do you have it on now?
Alan, he is on the phone with IT. We're going to have him on in a few moments.
You're getting him on visual as well?
Mr. Maricondo, I just wanted to let you know, do not speak to the applicant because we're having a problem with her speaking to you and the son, and we can't seem to communicate.
No, my phone is off. I had no idea it was reaching you directly.
Thank you. Oh, I was trying to explain that to you, sir. Thank you.
Are you gonna have video for the witness?
Hello?
Unfortunately, there is no video. This is what
I cannot swear anybody in unless I see their faces.
That's what I was trying to interject with Mr. LaRocca, but I can't.
Everybody stop. If there is no video, we cannot proceed.
I don't believe, if I had the opportunity to speak to son, which I was trying to do, I think he can get on the video. You know, she called in because she was on YouTube. Could I have another minute, please?
Let's take a 2-minute break, please, Mr. Chairman, see if we can resolve this. Alan, what do we figure out?
Okay, he just switching it, now he's on getting onto his smartphones. He was having difficulty with the computer, but, it should be hopefully momentarily. Your name is Jason, huh?
While we're waiting for this, I know we have minutes to adopt. Should we deal with that, Chairman?
Resolutions or minutes?
The minutes first.
I don't have any minutes.
We adopted the minutes at the last meeting? Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
we can do the
Yes.
resolutions then.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me get the resolutions.
Yeah, I'm in on it.
All right, so can everyone please leave the party until you call down for the vote? Do we have the applicant now? Al, is that the applicant?
I'll check.
Okay, thank you.
There it is.
Yep.
We'll come back to the resolutions.
We thank you very much for your patience and
He
consideration.
is on, he is on, it depends what you would like to do.
We'll go back to the application, let's get this application concluded.
We appreciate that. Thank you again, Commissioners. Again, we appreciate your patience. Okay, so Jason, you're on, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and your Jocelyn is with your mother, is that right?
Yes, you're right.
And you guys heard all the testimony earlier on YouTube, is that right?
Correct.
I need to swear him in, please.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't see him, where is he?
Right in the middle of the screen.
Okay, can you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Fair.
I don't see him. Oh, there he is. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so, Jason, state your full name again?
Jason Cordero.
Okay, and you're speaking on behalf of Jocelyn Baez, who's with you, who understands limited English, but she can confirm your testimony, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, you guys heard all the testimony on YouTube earlier tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you fully understand the questions and the comments that were talked about. You understand that if the application is approved, this driveway area must be paved, it can't be gravel. You understand that, right?
That's correct.
And you would have to get the necessary permits to do that.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and also, although the zoning officer called this a two-family, the tax record has it as a 3. Is it occupied as a 2 or a 3 now?
It's a 2. There's only 2 doorbells, but one of them is a camera, which is why it seems like there's 3 doorbells.
So that third doorbell is actually a camera?
It's a camera doorbell, the ivory.
Okay, but only 2 families live there, your family and 1 tenant?
Correct.
Okay, and the basement's part of your family usage?
Yes.
Okay, and your mom's seeking the approval here because we want to create some parking for your family off the street, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm satisfied from that testimony, and we could swear in Giselle's just for that limited purpose that Mr. Baraka talked about, unless the commissioners have any questions, sir, Jason.
Gary, do you have any questions?
I just a few, but, Marco, can I, address them to Jason, or do I have to address them to, Mrs. Baez?
What are the questions, Ken? What do you got?
I wanted to know how they came about coming to the board for the driveways in.
Yeah, you can ask them that, and then if we have
The mayor may not know the answer, but we can try.
Yeah, I would have to ask, I will translate, I guess.
Okay, could you ask your mom, that, question then?
No, we'll ask her when she testifies.
Okay.
Have him translate.
Okay, can I, talk to his mom then, or, I don't know the procedure, Marco.
Well, I mean, do we have any questions of him based on what he testified to?
No, but, he should know, his mom should know that he's being assessed as a 3-family, okay? So if it's not, you might want to, visit City Hall and, you make those arrangements with an inspector, from tax department, I'm assuming. So, that was the only question I had. It doesn't matter now if it's 3 bedrooms, a family of 4 or 2, because that was only, parking was only, based on the number of bedrooms, and the parking requirement is gonna be 2 less no matter what it is. So that I don't have a problem with, but I just wanted to find out then from Ms. Baez if she put in the driveway and she got summons, or why she put it in prior to coming to the meeting.
Alright, so let's first swear in Ms. Baez. Unless the commissioners have any questions of the son. Let's swear in Ms. Baez, please.
Can Ms. Baez please raise her right hand? Are you raising your right hand? I can't see you.
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You swear to tell the truth?
She did say yes.
Okay. Ms. Baez, you heard the testimony of your son, is that correct? You can put your hand down. Jason? Jason?
Yeah?
You can tell your mom to put her hand down, please.
No, I guess the camera's frozen, she's already up down.
It's frozen out.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Jason?
It's frozen.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear now? Okay. All right, Jason, your mom is sworn in. So the planner for the city wants to ask her, why did she come to Mr. Evans and myself to take care of this application to the board? Did she get a letter from the city or anything of that nature? Jocelyn, why did you start the process? Can you hear us?
Mañana con mi paquete.
Oye, no, no entiendo eso, pero ¿por qué que tú comenzaste a seguir?
I've already explained to them, Mr. Paparazzi, that the tax office has a different listing as a three-family, so they fully understand that they have to inquire of that. To the best of my knowledge, I don't believe there was any violations issued, but I'm not sure of that for a fact, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Marconda, she made the application to put the driveway in, and she was not heard, but the driveway is in. I just wanted to know if she put the driveway in, I guess it really doesn't matter.
I know.
You know, but,
Porque yo creo que la cosa bien legal.
I filed the application on February 13th of 2020, almost a year ago. So I'm not sure if it occurred before or after that, but as you know, that's really not determinative of when they picked it or when they gravelled it.
Look, here's what we need to do. We need her to confirm under oath the testimony from the architect and from her son.
Okay.
We need her to confirm the condition that she completes.
The blacktop, yeah.
And that's it.
That's all I'd like to do.
All right. Can you ask the questions, please, and get it done?
Okay. Jocelyn, can you hear me? Jocelyn, can you hear me?
Hey, Marco.
Yes, Mr. Levine.
You need an interpreter that's licensed? We used to say that. I mean, if
I know, if she does, if she can't answer the question, we'll have to come back.
No, Jason has answered questions on her behalf. We're trying to get her to answer directly as well. He
No,
was a member of the
she needs to answer directly is the point.
We've had members of the family speak.
Now we have it in years, translate. If they can't speak English to testify, then there needs to be an interpreter.
Oh, that I agree with, yes. Jason, she's not able to answer, not able to understand the questions? I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, look, we're gonna put this off. I mean, the meeting was scheduled, we all knew it was gonna be Zoom. I don't know why we're dealing with this at 8:30 at night, almost 9 o'clock at night. And so let's put this off, and come back, it's very limited, and it's gonna need to have an interpreter.
Yeah, I would plead with the board not to make it go out 5 months at this point. It would be very limited testimony to be added on, Mr. Chairman.
just for the board's, knowledge, the driveway is in and being used. And that was as of October. And I made one inspection there in September or August, and it was put in. So the driveway is being used today. That's for sure.
Maggie, could you find
Yes, Chairman, I will.
You need like 4 or 5 months to wait, please.
I know that, sir. May I call you off the record? I need to speak to my chairman. Thank you.
We
Okay, Mr. Maricondo, I will give you a date, and you said it was going to be a brief meeting. If for any reason the applicant or his son are having difficulty as well, please let me know 10 days before so I can add on another
This
applicant.
is very unfortunate, it never happened to us before on the virtual.
No, I understand, but as you well know, I need to get other people on, so
No,
if for any reason 10 days before, I'd like to have time to add another
Oh, of course, we want that too, yes.
well, I have to put it on the record. So I'm going to give you March 11th, 2021 at 7:30 PM. That is the best that I can do.
Okay, we appreciate that. I'm sure they'll be prepared and it'll be a very brief addition to your calendar.
Thank you. So are you okay with this date, am I correct?
Of course, yes, thank you.
Okay. So Councilor Baez has been carried to March 11th, 2021 at 7:30 PM.
And Alan, you're gonna have an interpreter for her, correct?
Yeah, again, her English I thought was much better than that, I apologize.
And all statutory time requirements?
I did say that, but I'll say it again, yes.
Thank you. Okay, I didn't hear you, I
No
apologize.
problem.
All right, commissioners, we have resolutions to adopt. Tell me when you're ready, I'm Linda and Maggie.
Yes, Linda, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
I am ready as well. You may continue.
All right, first resolution is for 141-147 Crooks Avenue LLC. The property located at 146 Ave, Block 7008, Lot 3. The property is B2 and R2 zone. There's an application up the new 5-story mixed-use building. The application was heard on November 9, 2020. At the conclusion of the application, there was a motion made by, bear with me a moment, Commissioner Furman to approve the matter, which was seconded by Chairman Paterson. Matter went to a vote, 5 in favor, 2 against, so it was approval. Someone move this resolution. The commissioners who voted.
Other than Commissioner Watkins, everyone else can vote. Except for Commissioner Arenas.
Okay, go ahead. Someone please.
Your motion? Commissioner Hodges, you cannot vote because you voted no.
That's what I was asking.
Yes, sir. Yes, Chairman.
Move it.
Thank you. Second? Is there a second? Commissioner Furman, Levine, Rohim, Minaudo? Can I have a second?
Commissioner Furman?
Thank you, Commissioner Furman. Commissioners, Commissioner Furman,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine, Commissioner Rohim,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine,
Yes.
thank you, Commissioner Minaudo,
Yes.
and Chairman Paterson.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next resolution is for 29-36 Canal Street LLC. The property located 29-36 Canal Street, block 5509, lot 9, in the I-1 zone. application to demolish an existing two-story building, construct a 3-story, 5-unit building. The application was heard on August 13th and October 22nd, 2020. At the conclusion of the application, there was a motion by Commissioner Hodges for denial of the application, which was then seconded by Commissioner Manalo, and then there was that motion failed. Then there was a second motion by Commissioner Dumas to approve the application, which was seconded by Commissioner Furman. The second application was 4 in favor, 3 against, so the matter was denied.
On
Commissioner,
this denial, yes, sir, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Commissioner Furman, Commissioner Levine, Commissioner Dumas, and Chairman Paterson voted in favor of the application. Commissioner Hodges, Commissioner Levine, and Commissioner Manalo voted no. I would call the 3 no's.
Thank you. Commissioner Hodges, your vote, please. Since this was a denial.
Well, yes on the denial?
Thank you, Commissioner O'Heen.
Wait a minute. Who motioned and who second for the
I
resolution?
apologize, you are so correct, I passed it up. First motion on this denial, Hodges, O'Heen, or Minauro?
I'm motioning yes on the denial.
Thank you. Second, please.
Commissioner O'Heen?
Thank you. The vote is, and once again, Commissioner Hodges,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Heen,
Yes.
and Commissioner Minauro.
Yes.
And Commissioner Hodges, just so the record's clear, you're moving the adoption of the resolution of denial, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. The next and last, resolution is for Margarita Vega, S-H-E-H-U, in case I mispronounced it. 392-394 River Street, Block 2902, Lot 3, an MU zone. The application is heard on November 12, 2020. Application is to convert a 3-family home into a 4-family dwelling on an irregularly shaped lot. At the conclusion of the testimony, there was an application, a motion by Commissioner Furman for approval, seconded by Commissioner Powell. The application received 8 affirmative votes in favor of approval. Commissioner Furman, Hodges, Levine, O'Heen, Manalo, Watkins, Dumas, and Chairman Paterson all voted yes in favor of this approval.
Move it.
Commissioner Hodges, do we have a second?
Commissioner Manaro will second.
Thank you.
Commissioners, Commissioner Furman,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodges,
Yes.
Commissioner Levine,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Heen,
Yes.
Commissioner Minauro,
Yes.
Commissioner Watkins.
Yes.
Thank you, and Chairman Paxton.
Yes.
This resolution has been adopted, thank you.
There's no more resolutions.
I have no more further business at this time, other than our next meeting, which will be on January 21st, a special meeting. No more business, thank you.
Meeting's adjourned.
Happy New Year's, everyone, and stay and well.
Safe night, everyone.
Good evening, Commissioners, staff, and public. Have a nice evening.
Good evening, everybody.